Russia's disastrous campaign in Ukraine is making waves back at home, and the recent call-up of another 300,000 troops has sparked a national rush for the exits, adding to the hundreds of thousands of mostly men who have already fled since the war began. Russia has always been one of Armenia's most important allies, although that relationship has turned awkward since the invasion of Ukraine. Armenia is now being flooded daily by Russians in the thousands, entering on one-way tickets. CBN spoke with some of them about the conflict earlier this year.
Yeah, they are against the war. Everyone that I'm talking with, they saying they against the war.
Even if the war ends and Russia loses, I don't see myself living comfortably in a country where the country leader is almost like a Hitler, and the absolutely militaristic state of the government right now is awful.
There are Russians all over here in downtown Yerevan, and I've been talking to many of them. Seems like most are young professionals, IT people, things like that, people who do their work online. And that's something that you really can't do right now in Russia because of the sanctions. Also, everybody that I've spoken to has been vehemently against this war, but there's a catch. They don't want to go on camera and talk about it. That says a lot about how much they fear their own government, because most of them still have families back in Russia. As Russian power appears to crumble, many former Soviet countries are jockeying for stature and position to possibly benefit from a weaker Russia. And Armenia sits squarely in the middle of this political power play, including Russia, Azerbaijan, Iran, and Turkey. Azerbaijan recently launched multiple attacks on its neighbor, killing more than 200 Armenian military and civilians in the latest flare-up of an ongoing conflict over territory. When that happened, Armenia appealed to the Collective Security Treaty Organization, Russia's version of NATO, but help did not arrive.
The world doesn't help us, but we shouldn't be offended, because we have locked ourselves in the chains of the CSTO, which sits on our neck. We have no right to ask for any help from the world. When we are free from this CSTO and from the Russian shackles, then the entire world can step up on our side.
We have all witnessed Russia's failures in Ukraine. We've seen what happened in the Kharkiv front, and Russia's military capabilities have actually dwindled a lot in the last months. So Russia is not interested in confronting neither Azerbaijan nor Turkey because it doesn't have capabilities.
I am a refugee from Russia. I was persecuted for political reasons. I came to escape one war and ended up in another one. I can't escape it. I want this to stop as soon as possible. The CSTO must do something or it may as well not exist.
September 17th, U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi traveled to Armenia and condemned the Azeri aggression, which concerns more than 1 million Armenians living in her home state of California.
The U.S. plays a stabilizing role. The U.S. actually managed to broker a ceasefire on the 15th of September.
In my latest calls with both Prime Minister Pashinyan and President Aliyev, both leaders told me that they are ready for peace.
Active in its communications with Baku and President Aliyev, urging him not to escalate, urging him to disengage its forces from the sovereign territory of Armenia. So the only hope is on the Americans that they will somehow put some diplomatic and political pressure on the Aliyev regime and will stop this aggression from becoming or from turning into a large-scale war.
Armenians were very grateful for the attention from the West, with many calling for deeper cooperation.
If the United States is interested in having some sort of presence in the South Caucasus, and I'm absolutely sure Washington is interested in that, it should pressure both Turkey and Azerbaijan, who are actively cooperating with Russia, and push them towards a more constructive stance towards Armenia.
For CBN News, I'm Chuck Holton.